What's up, Bug Dog with Dini in the garage. Today we are doing transmission fluid on manual transmissions in Subarus. This particularly is a 2009 Outback with an EJ 2.5, but this is going to be the same for most Subaru manual 5-speed, 6-speed, whatever transmissions. First thing you're going to need, obviously, is some new gear fluid. These Subarus use the 80/90, will do just fine. You're going to need a T70 for this particular vehicle. You're going to want to double check on yours. Some of the older ones use hex, but a lot of the newer ones use this T70. Go ahead and get one off Slamazon. This is a die-hard unit I got relatively inexpensively. I'll leave a link down there. Now there's lots of ways to skin a cat, but as you can tell, I decided to go up on ramps on this one. You could absolutely jack her up on jack stands. You could do what I used to do when I was a younger man and just deal with the fact that it was 4 inches off the ground and slide your pan under there and weasel your way around. But one way or another, you're going to want to access the oil pan. Now, the oil pan in question is going to be the second oil pan you encounter. Here's your engine oil pan. Got a little bit of your cross member, and then back here is the transmission proper. This is a 2009 Outback. So this is going to be a 5MT revised transmission. It's basically the same as the 5MT that was in everything in the early 2000s. Like I said, the difference I believe is the drain plug and maybe a little bit of the internals. But the long and the short of it is, here she go. Here's your drain plug. Time to get the fluid out. Alrighty, now I run my transmission with no fluid in it for better miles per gallon, but conceivably yours is going to have some fluid in it, so make sure you got a catch basin to pull all the fluid out. Once you get your plug out, you got a magnet right here. You're going to want to check that for big chunks. There should be some little particulates of metal, a little bit of grinding. That's totally normal from the gears, but if you got big chunks, big part numbers, you're going to want to look into that. Additionally, there is a crush gasket. This is the big difference between the years when you're changing Subaru transmissions. They changed the size of the plug between the transmissions. You need to figure out which one you need. Unfortunately, on this 2009, you cannot get the crush gasket off the shelf at any parts store. You got to order it. I will leave a link down below. Whoops, there she goes. That one done. RUNNOFT. The earlier models are a little bit smaller. Get online, just Google your year manual transmission crush gasket, and it'll come up with the one you need. Or leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes, and I'll do my best to help you. Now, once you've drained all the fluid, go ahead and clean up the area. Replace the crush gasket. Get your plug reinstalled. Tighten her down. I'm sure these plugs have a torque spec, but the long and the short of it is you really just want to crush that crush gasket, and then you're sealed. What it's doing is taking up the imperfections in the two mating surfaces and giving you a good positive seal so that you're not just leaking out the bottom of your transmission going down the road. And that's that. Let's go up top. But first, here's a bonus tip. While you're under your car, with a bit of room to look around, take some time to take inventory of things you might need to address. My rack and pinion brackets are a little bit rusty and rotty. This bit of my cross member could use some attention. I can go ahead and wire wheel and paint that now, or in 2 years I can put my finger right through it. So if you live in a Rust Belt state like I do, this is the kind of thing we deal with. If you have the car up and have unusual access, use it to your advantage, bud. I don't know what to tell you if that don't occur to you. All right, friends, now we're going to be looking for the fill hole, also the dip stick. It's going to be over here on the passenger side of the motor. Right there where my finger's going, that's going to be your dipstick. You got to mark for low, mark for high. Additionally, that's where you fill her up. Now, the hard part is finding a funnel that'll reach down there. I got this old school flexi joint, which works pretty good. It's the right length and gives me enough flex. Oops, go ahead and clean your funnel first. Good gravy. And you can also take off the plumbing for the intake, but it doesn't make it a ton easier. You still need the same funnel, so you might as well just finagle her around, make sure she's in the hole, and then, now you don't want to overfill this. I think it's about 2.2 quarts, but double check for your model, figure out which transmission you have, and then Google it. It's not hard. There's so much information on Subaru driveway maintenance, it's not even funny. Now I know a lot of you are probably gonna leave me a comment down there saying you'd only put red line or God knows what in your Subaru transmission. How dare I put SuperTech in my beloved H4? The long and the short of it is, in my experience, which is some on a driveway and some out in the professional world, if you change your oil often, you don't need expensive oil. That's just been my experience. The long and the short of it with the SuperTech is that if you look at the MSDS, it's mostly the same stuff as those big, more expensive brands. The key is make sure you don't get limited slip gear fluid. This 80-90, some people tell you to put in 75-90. I've seen some people suggesting 80 or 90-120. The manufacturer recommends this 80W90 for the temperature range and the duty that this vehicle is going to be using. Just make sure you don't get limited slip. Good gravy, why would I do that? What did I expect to happen? Alrighty, without further ado, 1, 2, 3, there we go. There we go. So it's showing low on here, but just low. I'm guessing that's going to be dead nuts on once we get her off the ramps. Ooh, buddy buck, I'll tell you what, she's smoother than a cat's you-know-what in the shifting. I would say it's a job well done right there, bud. It's about a $30 investment, not even, depending on if you have to buy sockets and a funnel. Could be a little bit more. It does a world of good for the car. I don't think a lot of these manual transmissions get their fluid changed ever. So you got an older Rex, an older whatever, you know, Fozzie, Outback, whatever it is, go ahead and change that fluid, because the 5MT revised, even the 6-speed, everything, Subaru makes a really good manual transmission. They really do. All you need to do is change the fluid on her. So check down there in the description. I will try my best to leave some links to different crush gaskets for different years. Other than that, you can leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes if you got any questions. I'll do my best to get right back to you. I am not the resident Subaru expert. That's Eric. So if you have a really tricky question, I'll send it on over to Eric. He's our Subaru expert. One way or another, you got a Subaru question, bring it to old Danny in the garage. We're going to find a way to get you an answer. Let me know what you thought of the video. If you do this yourself, do you do a different process? I don't know what you could do different. It's pretty much one way to skin a cat on that one. But let me know down there in the squawk boxes. What would you have done differently? If you like the video, like the video. It's pretty much common sense. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe go check out our website, monkeywithatoolbox.com. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.